Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Newsbrowse News broadcast. 7 members of OPEC Equatorial provisionally agreed to increase daily oil production by approximately 188,000 barrels in June, according to sources familiar with the organization's internal discussions. This decision follows the unexpected announcement by the United Arab Emirates on May 1st to withdraw from OPEC, a move that delivered a significant blow to the cartel and its de facto leader, Saudi Arabia. The planned increase, which does not include the UAE's share, is largely symbolic. The oil industry is currently grappling with severe supply disruptions caused by the Iran war, particularly the blockade of the Strait of Hormuz, which has severely impacted oil exports from major producers like Saudi Arabia, Iraq, Kuwait, and the UAE. Iran, also an OPEC member, has seen its exports plummet due to U.S. sanctions imposed since April. An OPEC report indicated a 7.7 million barrel per day drop in crude output for all OPEC Plus members in March compared to February, with Iraq and Saudi Arabia experiencing the largest cuts. Russia has also curtailed production following drone attacks on its infrastructure. The 7 nations participating in Sunday's online meeting are Saudi Arabia, Iraq, Kuwait, Algeria, Kazakhstan, Russia, and Oman. This news is from Hili Vilas Behutueverwenhau. This news is read the Mever Echo War, Radical Wide, Kazakhstan, Russia, and Oman. This news is from Hili Vilas Pervactably Hate Canned. This news is restant. The Mever Breaky Be with Werarat, Nuwer Ford Nor, and the Pepli Milia Bashtu Swerp Tive, Mescrace, Prenstan, a very Kaspa Pervac Bale. Am I rat the time? Because Yanhe Zaobao reports that an oil tanker identified as M. State Eureka was hijacked on Saturday, May 2, in the waters off Yemen's southern Shabwa province. According to the Yemeni Coast Guard, a group of unidentified armed individuals boarded and seized control of the vessel. The hijacked tanker has since altered its course and is now sailing towards the coast of Somalia. Upon receiving the report, the Yemeni Coast Guard promptly initiated a response, dispatching 2 patrol boats from Aden Port and smaller vessels from Shabwa Port to conduct search and tracking operations. This incident occurs in a region where the UK Maritime Trade Operations, UKMTO, had previously issued multiple warnings regarding the maritime security situation in southern Yemeni waters. According to an Al Jazeera report, Israel is facing a severe crime epidemic in its Palestinian towns, characterized by soaring murder rates and allegations of two-tier policing and state neglect. While violence affecting Israeli Jewish citizens elicits a strong and swift response from authorities, critics argue that Palestinian communities, which account for 21% of Israel's population, suffer from chronic underinvestment, limited police presence, and perceived governmental indifference. Statistics show a dramatic increase in the murder rate in Palestinian areas from 4.9 per 100,000 in 2020 to 11 per 100,000, significantly higher than the 0.6 per 100,000 in Jewish society. Lawmakers and experts, including Ida Tuma Suleiman and Daniel Bartal, accused the Netanyahu government and especially far-right National Security Minister Itamar Ben-Gvir of complicity, citing budget cuts to development programs for Palestinian communities to fund policing and the reliance on criminal gangs for intelligence. Ben-Gvir's alleged disdain for Palestinians is seen as a key factor exacerbating the crisis, leading to widespread criticism even within Israel's domestic mainstream. Antara reports that Indonesia will continue to rely on coal-fired power plants, BL2BA, to ensure energy efficiency and keep electricity prices affordable. Energy and Mineral Resources Minister Bahlil Lahadalia stated on Saturday that the decision is driven by Indonesia's extensive coal reserves and global energy disruptions exacerbated by rising tensions in the Middle East. He argued that an abrupt abandonment of coal is not feasible, highlighting that developed countries like the United States and some European nations are also reverting to coal to safeguard their domestic energy security. Bakhil emphasized that efficiency and national interests must guide Indonesia's energy transition, calling it a survival mode to prevent high electricity prices for the populace. Ministry data indicates that Indonesia's coal production in 2025 reached 790 million tons, with 65.1% allocated for exports and 32% for domestic market obligations. Japanese Prime Minister Sonne Takaichi and her Vietnamese counterpart, Lee Min-hung, met in Hanoi on Saturday, May 4, and agreed to establish economic security cooperation as a key pillar of their bilateral relations, JG Press reported. Japan pledged public-private support for Vietnam's crude oil procurement, specifically targeting the Nha Trang oil refinery in northern central Vietnam. This project marks the first under Japan's Power Asia initiative, which will provide approximately $10 billion in financial aid. During their meeting, the leaders also committed to collaborating on strengthening supply chains for critical minerals, including rare earths. Following the discussions, Prime Minister Takaichi emphasized their mutual commitment to cooperation to jointly make Japan, Vietnam, and the Indo-Pacific region stronger and wealthier. Prime Minister Hung, in turn, expressed his anticipation for deepened economic security cooperation with Japan. A list of priority items was adopted, covering science and technology, semiconductor research and development, artificial intelligence, and agricultural and food security. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.